me fa so done with you, girl. And the X and O da doo ba doo. I went to UFC 118 this weekend and it was awesome. It was Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. And wow, everyone just started talking as soon as I started this video. Typical. But I really want to do this now, so let's just embrace the background noise. And people slowly raising their voices. Okay, anyway. So in Detroit, they have a new arena for the Red Wings called Little Caesars Arena, or what do they want to call it? LCR? Because Little Caesars Arena is lame as hell. I'm still down with Little Caesars Coliseum. I think that'd be awesome. So, I go to this event, and first of all, the arena is just amazing. I mean, I heard some people actually don't like it, but I really thought it was cool. Just state of the art, everything's new. We start watching the fights, and they all know who everyone is, and I don't really follow that too much, so I didn't really know who all was fighting except for one fight. And that's because there's a gym in the town over from my house, and that's where this Amanda Bobby Cooper, ABC, goes. And one of my buddies, actually the kid who's been on the Wolbum channel and talked with us, he is her striking coach, so he was in her corner. And so it was kind of cool being like, I mean, I don't know her, but I know a bunch of her friends just through the striking coach. And so it was like, oh, you know, my friend's friend is actually fighting in this thing. And it's like this huge, like, stadium, and then, you know, it's just a brand new stadium, it's just packed seats, and then just this little arena in the middle, and it was just a hell of a show. So I was telling the people I went with my cousin and a bunch of his friends, and I was kind of telling them how I was like, oh yeah, you know, how I know some of the people in her ringside and stuff, and how, you know, that's cool. I was like, so I gotta root for her. And so then her fight comes, and she ends up winning it. And so it was like, cool, you know, we're all shouting. And then they leave, and we're watching a couple of next fights. And I kind of started to get, I wouldn't say bored, but just kind of tired of I sat in that seat for like an hour and a half, 2 hours up to that point, and I just want to get up and go check out the new stadium. So I texted a friend of mine who I knew would be there because he goes to the gym with Amanda Bobby Cooper. And so it was like, my buddy's got to be here. So I texted him, and he's like, oh yeah, he's outside at the bar, like across from the seats where I'm at. So I go find him, and it's him, he's sitting with him, a girl, and another kid I don't know. And he's like, this is, you know, so-and-so, my buddy. But then he almost immediately leaves. He goes chasing. Basically, the girl wanted to go to the show, and he was like, ran after her. So then I'm sitting there with this kid I don't know, and this is like after 10 minutes. And the kid's like, hey. And he goes to that gym too, I guess. And he's like, they're having like an after party for the fight over here at this bar. another bar that's close inside the arena. He's like, come on, we're going. So he goes, and what I think was happening, this is my take on what I walked into, was they had inside the bar like a roped off VIP area where all the team of Amanda Bobby Cooper and all the people from the gym were just kind of getting together, and they had their own area. But I think, and it might not have been like this, but as soon as I got there, it was kind of breaking apart, and the whole bar was just coming together and opening up. And so I go in with this kid and don't see anyone, and of course Amanda Bobby Cooper's there with a bunch of her people, and so we're kind of just walking around the party, you know, and I see some other of people I know just from town, and so I'm talking to them and I'm talking to everybody, and meanwhile I go up to get this drink, and it's a glass, so I can't leave, and my cousin who was back at our seats was like, hey, you know, where are you at? And I was like over my shoulder. I just took a picture of myself, like, and over my shoulder, you know, was Amanda Bobby Cooper standing there, and I'm like, oh, just chilling at the bar. And he's like, oh, I'm coming. Where are you? And I couldn't explain the name of the bar. And I'm like, and there's a sign above the door, and I was telling him the name of the sign because it's the only thing I could go off of, but I had this glass in my hand, so I couldn't leave. And he ended up walking around. He's like, I walked around the stadium twice just looking for this bar I was telling him. And apparently it was the name of the bar, but on the outside of the building. And we had to, when we walked in, walk through a pizza place. So he would only see the name of the pizza place and not the bar I was at. So eventually he must have recruited help, because he shows up with these two people that I met that day. And as soon as they walk up to me, Amanda Bobby Cooper is like standing like right here, like talking to some other people, and the person that I met that day grabs her and is like, oh, can I get a picture? And so Amanda Bobby Cooper does punchy face to the girl, like, and you know, the girl was just loving it, eating it up. And so she took this picture, and then my cousin was actually like, oh, I know you're striking coach, blah blah, talking to her a minute, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna talk to her, you know, I'm gonna say hi. And I was like, hey, congratulations. I reached like this, and I got like one of these, like she was already turning, she's like, oh, thanks, and walked away. And so I was like, yep, typical. So they get this picture and they're so happy, and then so we're there for a while, and I don't know why I was being just so awkward that night. Like I just was like seeing the friends I know like walking up and just like standing there. I don't know why I was being so awkward. So then I was like, all right. And actually it helped when my cousin and those people came, because then I had someone to be like, for some reason I'm just comfortable with you guys. Like I don't have to just stand here awkward with people. So then I say hi to my buddy, the striking coach, and say, you know, hi bye to everyone, and then we head back to our seats and we watch the main event fight, title fight, whatever you call it. And all I remember is there's one guy in yellow shorts. They all knew who it was. But anyway, so we end up leaving there after the fight, and then we go to this bar that was awesome. It's called Ready Player One in Detroit, and it's like a mix between a 90s style arcade and a 80s style arcade, and they have games from both. So you go down there, and if you order a drink, they give you 4 tokens, and 1 token will give you 1 round on a game. So we're playing all these games, and I find Rampage. I haven't seen Rampage in years, so I'm so excited. And I'm playing Rampage, knocking down buildings. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. And then, so I go up to the bar, and to talk to the 2 people I met that day. And all of a sudden they hand me a beer, and I'm like, oh, you don't have to buy me around. Like, I can buy my own rounds. And they're like, no, you got us a picture with Amanda Bobby Cooper. Like, thank you. Like, just take the beer, like, as a thanks. Like, and the guy's like, yeah, the girl was his wife. He's like, my wife's so excited. And I was like, oh, like, it feels so cool. I got you guys in the VIP. But then at the same time, I was like, and you guys all got pictures and handshakes, and then I didn't do shit because I'm lame. But I don't really care about that kind of stuff too much. But still, I was just thinking how ironic it was that they were thanking me for getting them there so they could get a picture with her and stuff, and I didn't even say hi, really. Like, I didn't say one word. I was like, well, still, felt like the man. And then we got an Uber, and we drove home. And I slept the entire ride home. It was glorious. And I've been so tired this week. I don't know why. But I think I'm waking up. But that was my Saturday night. It was awesome. Fight night, UFC 118. Awesome night. Good people.